The string quartet was playing a soft, classical piece that drifted through the manicured gardens of Liam's family estate. Fairy lights were woven into the ancient oak trees, casting a golden glow over the whole scene. It was perfect. Utterly, ridiculously perfect. This was the engagement party of the decade, and my best friend Amelia was the star at the center of it all. I'd known Amelia since we were 5 years old, building terrible sandcastles and promising we'd be each other's maids of honor. 20 years later, here we were. I adjusted the sash on my emerald green dress, the one she'd insisted on buying for me, and scanned the crowd for her. She was standing with Liam near the champagne fountain, her laughter echoing like tiny bells. She looked radiant, her blonde hair catching the light, her hand resting possessively on Liam's arm. Liam. He was everything you'd read about in a romance novel. Tall, impossibly handsome, with a kind smile and a family fortune that could probably buy a small country. He adored Amelia, and for that, I adored him too. I'd spent the last month helping her plan every detail of this party. From the caterer who specialized in artisanal cheese boards to the calligrapher who handwrote every invitation. Nothing was too good for Elias. She deserved this. After everything she'd been through with her family, the constant pressure, the feeling that she was never quite good enough. This was her moment to finally have it all. And I was so happy for her.
Chloe, there you are.
I turned and she was gliding towards me, pulling a slightly bewildered Liam along with her. I'm not going anywhere. I'm on official Maid of Honor duty, currently monitoring champagne levels, which are, I can confirm, critically high.
Oh, you. Liam, isn't she the best? I would be a complete mess without her.
The absolute best. Chloe, the place looks incredible. Thank you for everything you've done.
It was a team effort, but mostly it was Amelia's vision. I just helped with the spreadsheets.
Don't be modest. You're my rock. Now, I need a favor. A tiny one.
After the seating chart debacle, you're lucky I'm still speaking to you. But for you, anything. What's up?
It's my something blue. My grandmother's sapphire pendant. I was going to wear it tonight, just for a little while, to feel like she's here. I think I left it in my handbag, and my bag is up in the guest suite we're using to get ready. Could you, possibly? I'd go myself, but my great-aunt Susan has cornered me and is recounting her entire hip replacement surgery. It's a horror story. Save me.
Say no more. Consider yourself rescued. Guest suite, top of the stairs, second door on the left?
You're a lifesaver. The key card is in the little pot of orchids on the console table in the foyer. Don't ask why. Liam's mother has a system.
I'll navigate the orchid-based security system. Be right back. Don't let Aunt Susan trap anyone else. I squeezed through the laughing, chatting guests, feeling a swell of pride. This was good. This was right. My best friend was happy, marrying a wonderful man, and surrounded by people who loved her. I found the keycard exactly where she said it would be, nestled between 2 perfect white orchid blooms. The main house was quieter, the sound of the party a muffled hum behind me. I climbed the sweeping staircase, my heels sinking into the plush runner. The hallway upstairs was lined with imposing oil paintings of Liam's ancestors, their stern faces seeming to follow me as I walked. Second door on the left. I swiped the keycard, and the door clicked open. The suite was beautiful, of course. A 4-poster bed, antique furniture, and a balcony overlooking the gardens. Amelia's things were scattered about in a way that was uniquely her. A silk shawl draped over a chair, a half-empty glass of champagne on the nightstand, and 3 different designer handbags piled on the chaise lounge. I chuckled to myself. She could never choose just one. I checked the first bag, a classic black Chanel. Wallet, lipstick, phone. No pendant. I checked the second, a slightly more daring snakeskin clutch. Mints, a single earring she'd thought she lost last year, and a crumpled receipt. No pendant. That left the third bag, a small beaded purse that looked more like a piece of art than something functional. I unclasped it and tipped the contents onto the bed. A compact mirror, a tube of lip gloss, and nothing. That's weird. She was so sure it was in her handbag. I stood there for a moment, thinking, where else could it be? Maybe she took it out and put it somewhere safe. I checked the bathroom vanity, pushing aside expensive creams and perfumes. Nothing. I peeked into the drawers of the dresser, feeling like I was intruding, but my mission was clear. Still nothing. I was about to give up and go tell her she must have left it at home when my eyes landed on her travel case sitting by the wardrobe. It was a small leather weekender bag. Maybe she'd tucked it inside one of the pockets. Okay, Amelia, where did you hide it? I unzipped the main compartment. It was mostly empty, save for a makeup bag and a book. But as I shifted the makeup bag, I felt something hard and rectangular underneath the lining. A hidden pocket, maybe? I felt around, my fingers closing on what felt like a small leather-bound book. It wasn't a jewelry box. Curious, I pulled it out. It wasn't just a book. It was a diary. Amelia's diary. The one she'd had since we were teenagers, with the little gold clasp on the side. I hadn't seen it in years. I thought she'd stopped writing in it. A wave of nostalgia washed over me. I remembered all the secrets we'd whispered to each other that ended up in that book. Boy crushes, arguments with our parents, dreams for the future. Wow, I can't believe she still has this. I should have put it back. I know I should have. It was an invasion of privacy, a betrayal of the deepest trust between friends. But the clasp was undone, and it was flipped open to the most recent entry. The date at the top was from yesterday. My eyes snagged on a single word. Liam. I couldn't help it. My gaze dropped, and I read the first line. Liam is a sweet, handsome fool. The perfect cover. I almost feel bad for him. I felt the air leave my lungs. A cold, sharp shock, like diving into an icy lake. It had to be a joke. Some weird, twisted way of her processing wedding jitters. I read it again. The perfect cover. Cover for what? My heart started to pound, a frantic, heavy rhythm against my ribs. I knew I should stop. I should close the book, put it back, find the damn pendant, and leave. But I couldn't. My eyes were glued to the page, scanning down, my world tilting on its axis with every word she'd written. He never questions anything. The late nights I say are for wedding planning. The mysterious phone calls I dismiss as my mother being needy. He just smiles and says he can't wait for me to be his wife. It's almost pathetic. But it's necessary. The money is almost secured. The final transfer is happening next week, the week before the wedding. Once it's in the offshore account, I can finally leave this all behind. Leave him behind. I physically recoiled, dropping the diary onto the bed as if it had burned me. Offshore account? Final transfer? Leave him? It didn't make sense. None of it. This wasn't Amelia. My Amelia. The woman who cried during a commercial for dog food. The woman who held my hand for 6 hours straight in the emergency room when I broke my arm in college. This was someone else. A cold, calculating stranger. What the hell is this? My mind was racing, trying to find a rational explanation. Maybe she was writing a novel, a screenplay? She'd always been a creative writer. But this felt too real. The handwriting was hers, that familiar, loopy script I could recognize anywhere. My hands were shaking. I had to know more. I had to understand. I picked up the diary again, my fingers trembling as I flipped back a few pages. More entries. More lies. He wants to start a family right away. Can you imagine? Me, a mother, trapped in this gilded cage forever? No thank you. 2 years. That's the deal. 2 years of playing the perfect wife, securing my position in the company, getting access to the family trust. Then, I disappear. Bradford will be waiting for me in Monaco. We can finally be together, with enough money to last a lifetime. Bradford? Who the fuck is Bradford? The name echoed in my head, a name I had never heard her mention once in 20 years of friendship. I felt a wave of nausea. The entire relationship, the engagement, this whole perfect party downstairs. It was a sham, a long con. She wasn't in love with Liam. She was using him, using his kindness, his trust, his family's money. She was planning to destroy him and then disappear. And I had helped her. I had planned the party, toasted their love, celebrated this monumental lie. Oh my God. A floorboard creaked in the hallway. My head snapped up, my heart leaping into my throat. I quickly, silently, shoved the diary back into the weekender bag, burying it under the makeup case. I zipped it shut just as the door to the suite swung open. It was Amelia.
There you are. I thought you got lost. Did you find it? Aunt Susan is starting to tell me about her bunions now. It's a medical nightmare down there.
I stared at her beautiful, smiling face, the face of my best friend, the face of a complete stranger. I tried to arrange my features into something resembling normal, but it felt like my face was made of stone. No pendant. I looked in all your bags.
Damn it. I must have left it at my apartment. Oh well, it was just a silly idea anyway. Are you okay? You look pale. Is it too hot in here?
No, I'm fine. Just a bit of a headache. Overwhelmed, I guess. It was the lamest excuse, but my brain couldn't come up with anything better. It was short-circuiting, replaying the words from the diary over and over. The perfect cover. Offshore account. Bradford.
Oh, honey. You've been running around like a maniac for weeks. Come on. Let's get you a glass of water. And maybe a very large glass of champagne.
She looped her arm through mine, her touch feeling alien and wrong. She was leading me out of the room, back towards the party, back towards the lie. Every step felt like I was walking through cement. Downstairs, the string quartet was now playing something upbeat. Guests were laughing, clinking glasses, completely oblivious. I saw Liam talking to his father, and he glanced over at us and smiled. A pure, genuine smile that sent a fresh stab of guilt through my chest. He had no idea. He was a lamb being led to the slaughter, and I was the one who had decorated the abattoir with fairy lights.
See, everything is wonderful. Now, I need you for toast time. People will be expecting a speech from the Maid of Honor soon. You wrote something brilliant, I hope? Something that will make everyone cry?
Something like that. We stopped at the edge of the terrace. Amelia grabbed 2 glasses of champagne from a passing waiter and handed one to me. My hand was shaking so badly I was afraid I'd drop it.
To us. To the future.
She clinked her glass against mine. The sound was like a gunshot in the quiet horror of my mind. I couldn't do this. I couldn't stand up there and give a speech celebrating this fraud. But what was the alternative? Blow up her life? Ruin the party? Humiliate Liam in front of all his friends and family based on something I read in a diary I never should have touched? I excused myself, mumbling something about needing fresh air, and stumbled away from her, towards the far end of the garden. I found a stone bench hidden behind a large rose bush, shrouded in shadows. I sank onto it, the cold stone a shock through the thin fabric of my dress. I could feel a panic attack clawing at the edges of my consciousness. My breath was coming in short, ragged gasps. I had to think. What do I do? What is the right thing to do? My loyalty was to Amelia. It always had been. But what about Liam? Didn't he deserve to know the truth? That the woman he was about to marry was a predator, planning to bleed him dry and vanish? This can't be real. This can't be happening. I pulled out my phone, my fingers fumbling. I needed advice. I needed my sister. I scrolled to Sophie's name and pressed call. It rang twice before she picked up.
Chloe? Are you okay? You sound weird. Is everything all right at the party?
Sophie, I found something. Something terrible.
What? What is it? Did something happen to Amelia?
It is Amelia. She's not who I think she is. She's not who anybody thinks she is. My voice cracked on the last word, and a sob escaped. I quickly explained everything in a frantic, hushed whisper. The missing pendant, the search, the diary, the offshore account, the mysterious Bradford. I left out no detail. I felt insane even saying the words out loud. On the other end of the line, Sophie was silent. For a moment, I thought the call had dropped.
Okay. Chloe, I need you to take a deep breath. Can you do that for me?
I'm trying.
What you read. Are you 100% sure you didn't misinterpret it? You said she used to write fiction. Could it be a story?
No, this was different. It felt cold. It was a plan. A detailed, step-by-step plan to ruin Liam's life. She wrote about specific financial transfers, Sophie. She named a bank in the Cayman Islands. This is real.
Okay. I believe you, which means you are in an absolutely impossible situation.
I know! What do I do? The toasts are starting soon. I'm supposed to give a speech about their beautiful love story. I think I might throw up.
All right. You have two options as I see it. Option 1, you say nothing. You pretend you never saw that diary. You give the speech, you smile for the pictures, and you let this train wreck happen. Amelia is your best friend. Maybe this is a messed up phase and she'll come to her senses.
And let her destroy Liam? Let her commit what sounds like a federal crime? I can't do that. I can't be an accessory to that.
I didn't think so. Which brings us to option 2. You tell him.
Tell him? Now? In the middle of his engagement party? Sophie, that would be a catastrophe. It would be cruel.
Is it crueler than letting him marry a woman who is actively plotting to defraud him and his family? Chloe, this goes beyond a simple betrayal. This is a hostile takeover disguised as a marriage. The party is a temporary embarrassment. A ruined marriage and financial devastation? That's for life.
She was right. Her brutal honesty cut through my panic. It was a horrible choice. A choice between detonating a bomb now or letting it become a nuclear warhead later. But how could I do it? How could I walk up to Liam, this kind, trusting man, and shatter his world in front of 200 people? There has to be another way. Maybe I can talk to Amelia first, confront her in private, give her a chance to explain.
And what do you think she'll do? A professional liar like that? She'll deny it. She'll tell you that you misread it, that it was a joke, that you're being crazy and jealous. She will turn this whole thing around on you so fast your head will spin. She will gaslight you into oblivion, Chloe. And then she'll know that you know. And she'll just be more careful.
The truth of Sophie's words hit me with the force of a physical blow. Amelia was a master manipulator. I'd seen her do it before, in small ways, twisting stories, charming her way out of trouble. I just never thought she would direct that skill towards something so malignant. And I certainly never thought she'd use it on me. So I have to tell him.
Yes, but maybe not publicly. Can you get him alone? Pull him aside.
Maybe. But if I pull him away, Amelia will notice. She'll follow. She won't let him out of her sight. It has to be public. It's the only way she can't spin it. The only way the truth will have a chance. I felt a terrifying cold resolve settle over me. It was a horrifying realization. The only way to stop the fire was to set one of my own. It would be messy. It would be ugly. It would be the end of my oldest friendship. But it was the right thing to do. They're about to start the toasts. Liam's father always speaks first, then Liam, then me.
Chloe, are you sure about this? Once you do this, there's no going back. Ever.
I'm sure. I have to go. I hung up before she could say anything else. I stood up from the bench, my body feeling strangely light, disconnected from the chaos in my mind. I walked back toward the terrace, moving through the crowd like a ghost. No one seemed to notice the turmoil on my face. They were all still smiling, still laughing. I saw Liam's father step up to the small raised platform where a microphone was set up. He tapped it lightly.
If I could have everyone's attention, please. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Robert, and I have the distinct honor of being Liam's very proud father.
A smattering of applause. I made my way closer to the front, my eyes finding Liam and Amelia. They were standing right beside the platform, looking up at his father. The perfect, happy couple. Amelia caught my eye and gave me a little wink, a gesture that now seemed sinister. I gave her a weak, tight-lipped smile in return. I took my position near the steps to the platform, my heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird.
I have known my son his entire life, and I have never seen him as happy as he has been since Amelia came into his life. Amelia, my dear, you have brought a light and a joy to him that is truly a wonder to behold. We are so thrilled to officially welcome you into our family.
More applause. Liam's father said a few more words, raised his glass, and then it was Liam's turn. He looked emotional, his voice thick as he spoke.
Wow. Dad, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here to celebrate with us. It means the world. When I first met Amelia, I knew. I just knew. It was one of those moments you only see in movies. She's my everything. My partner, my confidant, my best friend. I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life making you happy. I love you.
Amelia's eyes welled with perfectly formed tears. She kissed him tenderly, and the crowd let out a collective awe. It was a flawless performance. She was Meryl Streep, and I was about to drop a stage light on her head. Liam raised his glass.
And now I'd like to introduce someone who has been Amelia's rock, not just for this engagement, but for her entire life. Her maid of honor, and my new friend, Chloe.
All eyes turned to me. 100 pairs of expectant eyes. Amelia was beaming at me, mouthing, "You've got this." Liam gave me an encouraging nod. This was it. the point of no return. I walked up the 3 short steps to the platform, my legs feeling like they were made of lead. The microphone felt impossibly heavy in my hand. I looked out at the sea of faces, all smiling, all waiting for a story about friendship and true love. Hello, everyone. My voice came out as a squeak. I cleared my throat again, trying to project confidence I absolutely did not feel. For those who don't know me, I'm Chloe, and I have been Amelia's best friend for 20 years. I paused, looking directly at Amelia. Her smile was starting to look a little strained. She could tell something was wrong. My tone was off. This wasn't the happy, bubbly speech we had joked about. 20 years is a long time. It's enough time to think you know everything about a person. Their hopes, their dreams, their secrets. I thought I knew Amelia better than anyone. I thought her greatest desire was to find a love that was true and a partner who was kind. And when she met Liam, I thought she had found both of those things. I saw Liam squeeze her hand, a look of pure adoration on his face. Amelia, however, was no longer smiling. Her eyes had narrowed, a flicker of panic in them. A maid of honor has many duties. You help pick out the dress, you plan the bachelorette party, you hold the bouquet. And sometimes, you stumble upon things you were never meant to see. You learn that the beautiful story you thought you were a part of is actually a work of fiction. A confused murmur rippled through the crowd. Liam looked from me to Amelia, a frown creasing his forehead. Amelia's face had gone white as a sheet. She gave a tiny, almost imperceptible shake of her head, a silent plea for me to stop. But I couldn't. I've always admired Amelia's creativity. She's a wonderful writer, so imaginative. She can create entire worlds, craft intrinsic plots. And the story she has crafted here? It's a masterpiece of deception. A story in which a kind, trusting man is not a fiancé, but a target. Not a partner, but what was the phrase you used, Amelia? A perfect cover. What is she talking about? Is she drunk? Amelia took a step forward, her voice a furious whisper that only Liam and I could hear.
Chloe, stop it. Stop it right now.
It's a story with a very exciting ending planned. An ending that takes place in about 2 years, after a certain family trust is accessed. An ending that involves an offshore account in the Cayman Islands and a man named Bradford waiting in Monaco. At the mention of Bradford's name, the last bit of color drained from Amelia's face. She looked like she had seen a ghost. Liam, on the other hand, just looked utterly baffled.
Bradford? What are you talking about? Chloe, this isn't funny.
No, it's not funny at all. It's tragic. Liam, I am so sorry to be doing this. I truly am. But I found her diary. And the woman you think you love is planning to take everything from you and disappear. She doesn't love you. She is using you. The silence that fell over the garden was absolute. It was so quiet I could hear the fizzing of the champagne in people's glasses. Then, chaos erupted.
She's lying. She's a liar. She's always been jealous of me, of us. Liam, she's making it all up.
Amelia, what is she talking about? The Cayman Islands?
Nothing. It's nothing. It's a story I was writing, a stupid, silly story. Chloe found it and twisted it. She's trying to ruin our happiness.
Am I? Then tell him who Bradford is, Amelia. Tell everyone here. Amelia's eyes darted around wildly, looking for an escape, but she was trapped. Her perfect stage had become her prison. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. And in that moment, in her terrified silence, everyone saw the truth. Liam saw it. He took a step back from her, a look of dawning horror on his face. The trust, the love, the adoration, it all just evaporated, replaced by a cold, devastating understanding.
Oh my God. It's true.
No, Liam, no, please. Listen to me.
But he wasn't listening. He just stared at her, his handsome face a mask of betrayal. The party was over. The beautiful lie had shattered into a million pieces. I put the microphone back on its stand, my hand no longer shaking. I felt strangely empty. I walked off the platform, through the stunned, whispering crowd, and I didn't look back. I didn't need to. I had done the right thing. And in doing so, I had lost my best friend forever. The walk back to my car felt like a mile. The sounds of the party had been replaced by angry, raised voices. I could hear Amelia sobbing hysterically. I didn't feel triumph. I didn't feel relief. I just felt a profound, aching sadness for the 5-year-old girl I used to build sandcastles with. The girl who had disappeared somewhere along the way, replaced by a stranger I had just unmasked. My phone buzzed in my hand. It was Sophie. I answered it, but I couldn't speak.
I'm proud of you. That was the hardest thing you'll ever have to do.
It's over.
No, it's just beginning. Your new life. The one without her in it. Go home, Chloe. Get some rest.
I got in my car and drove away from the fairy lights and the wreckage of 3 lives. The next few days were a blur of silence. My phone, which was usually buzzing with texts and calls from Amelia, was quiet. I knew I was being talked about. I was the villain in her version of the story, I was sure of it. The jealous friend who couldn't stand to see her happy. Some of our mutual friends sent me angry texts. Others just disappeared. They chose their side. I spent most of my time on my couch, wrapped in a blanket, feeling the phantom limb of a 20-year friendship that had been amputated. About a week later, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. It was from Liam. It was short. Thank you. You saved me from making the biggest mistake of my life. I'll never forget it. I typed and deleted a dozen replies before settling on, I'm so sorry for the way it happened. He didn't write back. A few months passed. The shock wore off, replaced by a dull ache. I was learning to navigate the world without my other half. It was strange. There were moments I'd see something in a store and think, oh, Amelia would love that, before remembering. It was like a punch to the gut every single time. One day, I was having coffee with Sophie, and she slid her phone across the table to me.
You should see this.
It was a news article from an international business journal. The headline read, British financier Bradford Astor arrested in Monaco for embezzlement scheme. There was a picture of a smirking, silver-haired man in handcuffs. The article detailed a complex web of shell corporations and fraudulent investments. And near the bottom of the article, it mentioned an accomplice who was still at large. A woman named Amelia Vance. My Amelia. They had been targeting wealthy heirs for years. She would get engaged, get access to their finances, and then with Bradford's help, they would drain the accounts and vanish just before the wedding. Liam was supposed to be their biggest score yet. My God, it was even worse than I thought. She was a professional criminal.
It seems so. You didn't just save Liam. You probably saved 6 other men from being her next victims. You're a hero, Chloe.
I don't feel like a hero. I feel like an idiot for never seeing who she really was.
You weren't an idiot. You were a good friend. You saw the best in her because that's who you are. That's a strength, not a weakness. She was the one who was broken, not you.
Sophie's words stuck with me. Maybe she was right. My trust wasn't a flaw. My loyalty wasn't a character defect. They were qualities Amelia had exploited. The experience changed me. I learned to be more cautious, to pay attention to the little red flags I had once so willingly ignored. But it didn't make me bitter. It didn't close me off. In the end, it made me stronger. I learned that my own integrity was more important than a friendship built on lies. I learned that sometimes the most loyal thing a friend can do is tell the truth, no matter how much it hurts. And I learned that I was going to be okay on my own. It wasn't the future I had dreamed of for us, but it was a future built on truth. And that was a foundation I could finally build my own life on.
Thank you for joining us for another story here on Olive Dramas. Share your thoughts on this story in the comments below. Tell us what you want to hear about next and how we can bring you better content as we grow. If our stories of resilience and empowerment resonate with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you're the first to know when a new story drops. Until next time, this is Olive Dramas, where we know that from the deepest betrayals,